Good morning. How are you guys?
Good.
Another day in paradise.
I thank you for letting me do this, and we're going to try this out and see how well this works. I thought I'd start off and have you just talk a little bit about how minor pole building started. So how long has it been around? And
Gotcha. Well, as luck would have it, I'm sitting right here and I'm moving a little bit to the right because as you see here behind me on our wall here, we have our founders, which is my father and my mother, who started the companies back, really started the company in, I think, the late 70s when he really started getting going. So it's been really over 40 years now. Used to be, a mom and pop, dad, sons out there working. I used to be one of them. Since then, we've grown from there um, to meet the demand that has been there for the product.
that's great. So what kind of buildings, what's your main focus?
So the advantage is with what we do is we are not, a lot of people in this industry, post frame industry, they get in and they get out. There will be a lot of, much like what my father did back in the 70s. He started the business and they'll go on from there. They use pole building as an entry level to maybe they want to do homes, maybe they want to do commercial, a lot of different ranges. We focus not primarily, solely on post frame buildings. Those post frame buildings take on a lot of different forms, whether it be for residential structures. You hear a lot about pole barn houses now. We do a lot of equestrian stuff. We do commercial stuff. We do storage facilities. Any range of structure, but purely focused on post frame design, which is a style of building.
So can you describe the difference between a traditional stick-built house and post frame?
Yes. So post frame is a way to build a structure that lends well for large open spaces that are built economically. Instead of a stick frame design where you pour or you do a foundation wall and you do studs around the exterior where you have a lot of cost in foundation, you have a lot of cost in framing. A post frame design is a point loaded system with loading going at individual points throughout the structure. So they're actually going to post, which are typically 10, 12, 14 foot on center, and go into the ground. And that is the foundation, not a foundation wall. It once again lends to a freer open design with large space capacity where you don't have a lot of intersecting walls that have to support. It also is a fast way to build.
Huh. So why don't more people build houses that way?
Well, that's why you see a uptick right now in people trying to do post frame homes. One thing that has been a stigma over the years is people don't like in-ground wood, but with the treatment they have out there, it's really not been an issue at all anymore.
Mm-hmm. Huh, that's crazy. So what makes minor pole building stand out from your competition?
Um, First of all, as I had said, as there's a lot of people that get in and out of the business, they're not there for the long haul. First of all, this is all we do, day in and day out for 40 years. So we're there for the long term. Secondly, because of that, the knowledge we have in-house through me, through our salesmen, you talk to us, you will hear a difference right off with our knowledge base. Because of that knowledge base, we are able to have great flexibility in design where it's just not a metal garage out in a field. It can be homes, it can be custom. You can see a couple buildings behind us in pictures that are more custom buildings that have lap siding, cement siding, board and bat siding, different roof lines, designs that you can do, and you can do that all through our company that you'd have a lot harder time with other companies doing. along with that, with our process of start to finish, it's very streamlined with project managers, crews out in the field and the office, where you are not ever left hanging and just stuck on having to talk to one individual. There's a lot of different people here that will help the process go as smoothly as possible.
So that begs the question, how many people on your staff?
Right now we have 15 in our company.
Wow.
So somewhat small, but we run couple salesmen, a couple different crews, marketing, office person. So, and we actually are trying to hire right now. It's just, well, I say current climate. I'm going to go back a few weeks before this whole crazy Corona thing.
Yeah.
With that current climate, it's been our biggest issue. Actually, has been trying to hire. There's just been a shortage of qualified workers in the workforce. So
Yeah.
we are at people.
Huh.
But things are changed with the crazy with what's going on now.
Yeah. Well, you guys have always managed to survive. I think, yeah, you were with us back in 2008, I think, when the last recession hit. And one of the things you guys did is you just kept promoting. You didn't stop advertising. And I think that's what a lot of companies tend to do is they just shut everything down and they stop that pipeline of people being able, being visible. And you guys just have presented yourselves as a real stable company, from my perspective.
Yeah, it's that's always a difficult one because obviously you always want to try to preserve capital, but if you're not selling, you're not making money. So you have to have your name out there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, big focus of ours and why you've been in contact with Laura here and we've hired her on, really being mindful of trying to promote more and do a lot more digitally with, what the shift has been here in
Yeah.
the lab.
Yeah.
So that has been a focus of ours.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why we're all having to rise to the occasion and change with the climate. It isn't just print anymore. We have to have an online presence and the digital edition and that kind of thing. But let's get back to talking about what you can do as far as helping people that want to plan their dream barn. Where should they start? Is it possible? And, what are maybe some financing options that you guys offer?
Well, the first thing is obviously is just pick up the phone. We do get some emails and some questions of people kicking the tires, which we always try to get back to them on. But there is a lot of specific questions that go into a building, not just I need this, 40 by 60 or 60 by 180, whatever the size is. There's a lot of specific questions that go into that so we can design and meet what that client's needs are. To do that, yes, you can email, but it's best to talk to one, myself or Elijah, the two main estimators here in the office, to get some specific information to get what a person needs. At that point in time, once they call us, we'll start asking questions, working through the process, finding out what the timeline is for what they're wanting done. Also, one of the biggest things to come in with, and I know this is a little bit difficult for people because they always want to know what it costs. Well, problem is there's such a wide range. When you're talking a structure that, for instance, we're working on structures right now that are 60,000 square feet.
Wow.
And we work on them as little as 2,000, 1,500 square feet. But the difference is every little thing you throw into that structure changes your per square foot price. You can't narrow it down. You have to get some information first. So the best thing to come in with is actually a budget to know, okay, this is kind of what I'm looking at for my cost, what I have to spend, and this is kind of what I want, and we can work through what you can, or if we need to curtail it, if we need to enlarge it, if we need to make the building smaller, larger, depending on what your needs are.
Mm-hmm.
As far as financing, we do not offer any financing. The main reason we do not is because it is all outside financing anyways. And typically if we've had some people that have approached us to try to finance, but the rates are not good. The best thing that people usually do is try to, especially with today's rates, is to pull money out of their home, refinance, or it's a cash purchase by them. But large majority is it's refinancing their home. It's the best way to go to pay for this because it does up the value of your property. It goes straight into your property, and those are the best rates you can get.
Do you think that the fact that the government is lowering all the interest rates and even some banks are offering interest-free loans for like 90 days, do you think it would behoove people to consider building if they have the capital to do it?
They have the capital, and well, two different things. If they have the means, I won't say the capital because they're getting a loan to get the money, right?
Right, right.
But if they have the means and steady income, yes, absolutely, because your interest rates are so low, all you're going to do is save money over time, which,
Yeah.
especially if you're looking at it as an investment, your return on investment will be the best over time because of the low interest rates.
Yeah. So what are you recommending to people right now if they want to plan a building? Is now the time to start planning for next year? I mean, how many months out, if somebody comes to you with a plan and want to build, how long does it take to get permits and that kind of thing?
Believe it or not, that's a difficult. Well, there's two different things. In our area of the country, there's different types of buildings. First of all, there's what they call agricultural exempt buildings, which are fairly easy to get permits on. Permits are not so much of an issue. So a normal timeline for us is usually 4 to 6 months out, depending on the structures. If they're larger structures, sometimes they can be longer. Now, as we move into structures that have to be standard building permitted or county permitted structures, it's a little bit different ballgame because every county has different requirements and different timelines. Those can be as little as 2 to 3 months as far as being once you lock into a contract and they're able to build. Some of them can be as long as a year, depending on what county requirements and what the process is.
Yeah.
So, typically though, you want to plan on a good rule of thumb is, if you want to build in the next 4 to 6 months, you should be contacting us now. So plan 4 to 6 months out usually.
Yeah, that's great. So is there anything you would like to add for our readers today?
I don't believe so. I believe you've covered most things pretty well. I guess the only thing that I would say is if you guys are looking to build any type of building here in the future, please give us a call. I know you have other options out there, and I would recommend that you do talk to other people, not just us, because I do believe once you talk to different companies, you will understand readily the difference between us and other companies, and I firmly believe
Okay, and what areas do you cover right now, Mark?
we cover the entire state of Oregon, and we cover Washington up to about the Seattle area.
Okay, good to know.
And we do go east, and we go as far east in Washington as about to Tri-Cities area. Really, the rule of thumb for us and for your readers to know is the larger a building gets, the more economical it is for us to travel and do it. If you really are trying to call about a 20 by 20 that's 400 miles away, well, it's probably not going to be very economical for us to get over there and get it done. As it gets a larger scale, it makes better sense economically.
Yeah, that's great. Well, hey, I really want to thank you for sharing some tips with our readers today, and we'll be continuing this.